Since the tax-free savings account launched in 2009, the Canadian government has added new contribution room every January. For a resident who has been eligible from the start, that cumulative total reaches $109,000 by 2026. But the vast majority of that space is currently being wasted. Millions of Canadians are making a specific financial error, driven entirely by the word savings in the account's title. This gap shows the cost of that misunderstanding. A $30,000 deposit earning a standard 1.5% interest grows to just $55,000 over 3 decades. That same deposit, invested at a 7% market return, grows to $228,000. Think of the TFSA as this featureless metal vault. It is an empty container. It produces no value on its own. Its only function is to protect whatever you choose to put inside it. Using the account effectively requires shifting your focus away from the savings label and toward the specific investments you decide to house within the vault. The government dictates the size of your vault. Every year you are a Canadian resident over the age of 18, you receive a specific amount of new contribution room that carries forward indefinitely. If you exceed this limit, the CRA applies a 1% monthly penalty to the surplus. It is a strict boundary that requires you to know your total available room before moving money. You have wide latitude over what goes into the container. While most use cash and GICs, you can hold high-growth ETFs and stocks. Inside, growth happens in a vacuum. Dividends, interest, and capital gains are permanently shielded from taxes, no matter the account size. Because the container itself is passive, your final balance depends entirely on whether you fill it with assets that stagnate or assets that compound. The TFSA provides more flexibility than almost any other registered account. You can withdraw your money at any time, for any reason, without paying a cent in taxes or losing your eligibility for government benefits. However, the container's entry door operates on a delay. If you withdraw $15,000 in June, the vacated room remains grayed out and unavailable. That space only opens back up on January 1st, alongside the new annual room for the upcoming year. If you try to put that $15,000 back in October, the CRA views it as a brand new contribution. If you've already used your available room, you'll immediately trigger the over-contribution penalty. While the withdrawal flexibility is a major advantage, the account requires you to understand the specific timing to avoid losing your tax-free gains to avoidable fines. This leads to the final strategic choice, one to use this flexible container versus the tax-deductible RRSP. For many, the decision comes down to your current tax bracket. If your income is below $55,000, the TFSA is generally the superior choice, as the RRSP's tax deduction provides very little immediate benefit at lower income levels. The TFSA also provides a strategic advantage during retirement. Since withdrawals are not considered income, you can draw from the account without affecting your eligibility for old age security or the guaranteed income supplement. You should pivot to the RRSP if you earn a high income where the tax deduction is more significant, or if your employer offers a matching contribution program. To execute this properly, avoid using the TFSA at a traditional bank where options are often limited to low-interest savings. Instead, move to an online, low-fee brokerage. Set up a recurring monthly transfer and use those funds to buy globally diversified all-in-one ETFs. This replaces manual saving with an automated investment process. By looking past the savings label and treating the TFSA as a long-term investment engine, you can legally keep the entirety of your wealth's growth out of the hands of the government.